everyone, today we'll be looking at document formatting. What is document formatting? Document formatting refers to the arrangement of text and other elements on a page to improve readability and presentation. It involves setting the layout of the document, adjusting margins, headers, footers, page numbers, and other visual elements that structure the document professionally. So this is basically saying that document formatting refers to the way in which text and other elements are arranged in a document to make it clear and easy to read. What is paragraph formatting? Paragraph formatting refers to how individual paragraphs appear in a document. It includes setting the alignment, line spacing, indentation, and margin. So paragraph formatting basically how the paragraphs will appear in the document. Moving right along, justification of text. Justification and line spacing can be controlled using the paragraph group on the Home tab. So remember the tabs, they are found on the ribbon. Justification refers to the alignment of text. So justification refers to the alignment of text. So how are the texts aligned on the page? Are they aligned to the left? Are they placed in the middle? Are they to the right? Or are they in between the right and the left? To align text, you select the text and click one of these buttons to align it. And the button they are found on the paragraph group on the Home tab. So these are the paragraph alignments. So if you want to align your document to the left, you're going to highlight the document and click that button that the arrow is pointing on, showing align left. If you want it in the center, you press the center one. If you want it to the right, or if you want it to be justified. So these are the 4 paragraph alignments that you can use to actually change the way in which your text will appear in the document. So let's get into more detail as it pertains to the paragraph alignments. So align text left or align left. So this button lines up text with the left margin, leaving the right edge uneven. So what this does, it lines up text to the left margin, leaving the right edge uneven. This is a default alignment in most documents and is suitable for most types of writing. So as soon as you open up a Microsoft Word document and you start typing, automatically the text will be aligned to the left, as this is the default option for most word processor documents. Center align. So this button lines up text in the center of the page so that the right and left sides are raj. So that the right and left sides they are uneven. This is typically used for titles, headings, or to emphasize certain text. Then we have the align text right or align right. So this button lines up text with the right margin. So all the text will appear on the right side, leaving the left margin raj. So the left side will be uneven. This is often used for captions, headers, or other specific formatting needs. And then we have the final one, which is the justify. So this button lines up text with the left and right side. So there are no raj edges, so no uneven edges with this one. It is used in formal documents, so like in the newspapers, in books, or to give it a clean and a uniform look. Moving right along, we have line spacing. So what is line spacing, or what's the purpose of line spacing? Line spacing is used to change the spacing between the lines of text. Printed documents are often easier to read if there are slightly wider spaces between the lines. So this is practically saying that it is easier to read a document when there are spaces between each of the text. The standard line spacing is 1.0, and that stands for single line spacing. To adjust the line spacing, all you need to do is to click the line spacing button and select the spacing you want to apply from the list shown. Header, footer, and page number. Header, footer, and page number can be controlled using the header and footer group on the Insert tab. So you click the Insert tab and you will see the header and footer group. So that's where you will go to add header to your document, add footer to your document, or to insert your page numbers. What's a header? So a header, it is normally at the top of the page. You can put things like the document title, your name, or even the date in the header. And the header, it will show up on every page. What's the footer? So similar to the header, it will also appear on every page. The only difference is that the footer is at the bottom of the page, and you can still put things like page numbers and so forth in the footer. What's the page number? So a page number, it tells you what page you're on. So you're on page 1, page 2, page 3, and the list goes on. You can put page number in the header or footer of your document. Then we have margins, orientation, and columns. Margin, orientation, and columns can be controlled using the page setup group on the page layout tab. So you go to the layout tab and you'll see the section there for margins, orientation, and columns under the page setup group, and that is displayed right there in the image. So what are margins? Margins are the blank spaces around the edges of your page. Margins, they are the blank spaces around the edges of your page. Orientation. Orientation refers to the direction in which a document is displayed or printed. And you have two options. So it can either be portrait or landscape. If it is portrait, then the page is tall, and if it is landscape, then the page is wide. And when we're preparing documents, like for students, when you're completing projects and so forth, you would normally use a portrait page. So yes, these are the orientations. So these are some depictions of how the orientations would appear. So for the portrait, it's a tall page, and for the landscape, it's a wide page. And then we have columns. So columns are how text is divided into sections on the page. And in this picture, it would have depicted 3 columns. So we are able to see the text divided into 3 different sections on the page. Before we take any questions, we're going to do a simple demonstration, and then after which we can take questions. So let's open up a Word document. So here I have 3 paragraphs on the screen. The 3 paragraphs pertaining to a story entitled The Lost Pen. So the first thing that I'm going to want to show you guys is the paragraph alignment. So remember, we said that the paragraph alignment, they are found on the Home tab. So we're already on the Home tab. So now we need to go to the paragraph group on the Home tab. And that's right here, this little area right here. So here we have the alignments. So this one is the left align, or align left. This one is center align. This one is right align, or align right. And then this one is justified. So let me show you how it works. So all the paragraphs, they are already aligned to the left. Hence, you would have seen this, the align left, being highlighted right here. So I'm going to first align the title to the center. So I highlight the title and I click the center alignment button, and you realize the text appear in the center. I'm going to align the first paragraph in the text to our right. So I'm going to use align right. See what happens? So the left side it is uneven, but the right side they are well even. For the second paragraph, I'm going to use the justified. So just to show you guys how each alignment affects the way in which texts are aligned in a document. So you realize with the left align, with the justified, sorry, both the right side, both the right side and the left side are even. So we don't have any uneven side in the justified when we're using the justified alignment. So let me just change the color of the text so that you can be able to distinguish between each of the alignments that are used. So let me just put this in blue. So that's a justified one. This one is the right align or aligned right. So let me put it in a different color. Put this one in red. And then the title, which is in the center, let me put it in, let's see, green. So the title, this one, center align. This one, first paragraph, right align. This one is justified. So we have even edges. This one is still left align. So you notice the way in which each of the paragraph appeared based on the way in which they are aligned in the document. Alright, so I believe that's enough with the alignment. So now we're going to move into line spacing. So line spacing. So I highlight the text, and let's say I want some more spacing between these lines. I select this button right here. I remember the 1.0, it stands for single line spacing. Then we have some various other options here, and you realize as I'm moving along, you realize more spaces are being created between the lines. So let me go again for persons who weren't looking. So this is single line spacing. See, as I keep going down, the spaces are getting wider and wider and wider and wider. So let's just stop with the double line spacing. So the first paragraph right there is in double line spacing, but the others they are in single line spacing. So you notice that the first paragraph has a lot more space in comparison to the other two at the bottom. So that's it for paragraph alignments and line spacing. And you realize that all of these they are found in the paragraph group on the home tab. Alright, so now we can go over to the insert tab. So the insert tab is right beside the home tab. And we're going to insert our header, footer, and page number. And remember, as you would have seen before or earlier in the PowerPoint presentation, it would have instructed you guys or informed you guys that the header and the footer, they are found in the header and footer group on the insert tab, and that's right here. Alright, so remember header at the top of the document. So I click on the area header, and we have various options in which the header can appear, but I'm just going to go with the blank one, the first one. Serialize, open up the header, and let's say I want to type a name there. So let me just type Sam. Let me just type Sam Dixon. And I'm gonna align Sam Dixon name to the right. So remember, when I want to use the alignment, I have to go back to the home tab on the paragraph groups, and if I said I want to align it to the right, then it would be the third option. Click on it and you realize Sam Dixon is now to our right. So that's it for the header part. And you just click anywhere else outside of the header to close the header. Go back to the insert tab. So now we want to add a footer. So remember, the header is at the top, the footer is at the bottom. And similar to the header where we have various options, we also have various options for the footer. So again, I'm gonna select the blank one, take us to the bottom of the page, and let's say I want to put a grade. So I put grade 9, and I want this to be aligned. Yes, I want it to remain at the left, align left. And I can just click on the X right here, close header and footer, or I can just click anywhere else outside of the header and the footer. So you see, our document now has a header and a footer, and these will appear on the other pages. So let me just enter all the way down to a new page to show you that the header will appear on all the pages. So there we have it, the Sam Dixon is right there, and the footer is also there with the grade 9. So the header and the footer, they appear on all pages in the document. Because if I'm supposed to add another page, then you're going to see it once more. So let me just show you guys. So here we are on a third page, and once more you can see the title in the header, the name in the header, sorry, Sam Dixon, and the grade in the footer, grade 9. So they are on all 3 pages. Alright, so back to the first page. So now we want to insert page number. So we have to get back to the insert tab in the header and footer group. So the final option right there would be the page number. So we just go ahead, click on it. Where do we want the page number to appear? So remember, as you would have seen in the PowerPoint, the page number can appear at the top of the document or at the bottom of the document. But in most cases, we always want it to appear at the bottom of the page. So let me select that option. So bottom of the page, and then we have various options. So various alignment. So we can either want the number to be aligned to the left, in the center, to the right, or we want it to appear like that with page 1 or 1 page, 2 page, and so forth. So let's select the last option. So there we have it, page 3 on the third page. Let's go back all the way up to the first page. Close header and footer, because the page number normally appears in the footer. So there we have it, page 1, page 2, and page 3. I can try another option with the page number so that you guys can see, we can explore. So let's try having the page number in the center. So this is how it would appear. And we close header and footer. So that's how it would appear. Alright, so we would have inserted a header or footer and page number. So now we're going to move right along to our layout tab. So we pass the home tab, we pass the insert tab, we also have to cross the design tab in order to get to our layout tab. So there we have it, layout, and you would have learned about margins, orientation, and columns. And all of these, they are found in the page setup. See the page setup group on the layout tab. So here we have margins, and remember these are the extra spaces outside the document. So you can have a normal margin, you can have a narrow margin, you can have a moderate margin, a wide margin, a mirrored margin, an Office 2003 default margin, or you can put in your own custom margin. As it pertains to the orientation, remember we had only 2 options, so either portrait, which is the tall one, as it is now, or we can have the landscape, the wide one. So considering that the document is already in portrait, let me try the landscape one to give you guys an idea of how the text would appear. So you realize how wide the text is now, how wide the page is. So that's because it is in the landscape orientation. And for the columns, so we have the columns option right there. So remember, this allows the text to appear in more than one section. So let's add 2 columns to this document and see how it would appear. So there we have it. The text is now aligned, or now arranged in 2 columns. Let's try 3. So there we have it. Now we can even go back to the 1 column as how it was previously. And let me change back the orientation to the tall page, which is the portrait, and then that would be how it would appear. Okay, so I believe we would have touched everything that we would have covered in the PowerPoint, so now we can get back to our presentation. Alright, so I believe that now would be the right time to start taking questions. So if it is that you have a question, or if it is that there is something that you would have wanted me to try, you can go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. So any question at all, just go ahead and leave it right there. So activity time. We can't wrap up without assessing that which you would have learned. So what have you learned? So you are required to match the words in column A with the correct definition in column B. So in column A we have header, right align, justify, and center align. In column B we would have A, the text is in the middle of the page. B, text lines up on both left and right sides. C, section at the top of the page. D, text line up on the right side of the page. So let me do the first one, and then I'm going to allow you guys to complete the other 3. So the header, number 1 on the column A. So the answer for that one would be C under column B. So the header is a section at the top of the page. As it pertains to the alignment, you guys are going to complete those. Moving right along, we also have some true and false statements. So the first statement, the footer is located at the top of the page. Is this true? Is this false? Footer. The footer is located at the top of the page. So let me do the first one for you. The footer is not located at the top of the page. It is located at the bottom of the page. So hence the first sentence would be false. So the remaining 5 sentences, you guys are going to have to do those on your own. So justify, text has straight sides on both the left and right. Is that true? Is that false? Center alignment lines up the text on the left side. You can add your name in the header of a document. Margins are the blank spaces at the edges of the page. Portrait orientation makes the page wide. So go ahead and decide if those statements are true and false. Have them completed. Before you go, please ensure that you like, leave us a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so as yet, and just want to wish you guys all the very best. Hope you learned something.